Millions of people get tattoos every year. For most, it's a safe, meaningful experience. But for some, it becomes a death sentence. Infected needles, toxic ink, allergic reactions, flesh-eating bacteria. These aren't urban legends. These are real deaths. Documented, investigated, horrifying. These are the most horrific deaths from tattoos in history. Case 1. The beach tattoo that killed in 48 hours. August 2023. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. A 35-year-old man got a large tattoo covering his calf. A tropical design. Colorful. Beautiful. The tattoo artist seemed professional. Clean workspace, gloves, sterile needles. Everything looked safe. 2 days later, the man went to the beach. The tattoo was still healing, but he thought a quick swim would be fine. It wasn't. Within 12 hours, his leg began to swell. Red streaks appeared, spreading up toward his thigh. By the next morning, he had a high fever and couldn't walk. His family rushed him to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed necrotizing fasciitis, flesh-eating bacteria. The infection had entered through his fresh tattoo wound and was literally consuming his muscle tissue. They performed emergency surgery, removing infected flesh, but the bacteria had already entered his bloodstream. Septic shock set in. He died 48 hours after getting the tattoo. The bacteria, Vibrio vulnificus, a marine bacteria he picked up from ocean water that entered through his open tattoo wound. The autopsy showed the infection had spread so rapidly that even immediate treatment couldn't save him. His immune system was overwhelmed in hours. Medical experts later stated, "Never ever swim in natural water with a fresh tattoo. It's an open wound, and ocean water is full of potentially deadly bacteria." Case 2. The contaminated ink outbreak. Spring 2021. Multiple states across the USA. The CDC received reports of unusual infections in tattoo recipients. All different shops, different artists, but one common link, the same brand of tattoo ink. A 22-year-old woman in Kentucky was among the victims. She got a small wrist tattoo. Simple, professional shop. Everything seemed fine. 3 weeks later, she developed painful bumps around the tattoo. They grew larger, filled with pus. Her doctor prescribed antibiotics. They didn't work. Biopsy results came back shocking. Mycobacterium coloni, a rare bacterial infection resistant to most antibiotics. It was in the ink itself. The woman underwent months of aggressive antibiotic treatment. The bacteria had spread into her tendons and bone. Doctors considered amputation, but she was one of the lucky ones. She survived. Others weren't so fortunate. The CDC investigation linked the contaminated ink to at least 3 deaths across the country. The victims developed systemic infections that attacked their hearts and lungs. The ink manufacturer had failed basic sterility protocols. Bacteria had contaminated entire batches. And because tattoo ink isn't regulated as strictly as medical devices, the problem went undetected for months. The FDA eventually recalled the ink. But for those who'd already been tattooed with it, the damage was done. This case revealed a terrifying truth. Tattoo ink doesn't require FDA approval before being sold. You're literally injecting something under your skin that might never have been tested for safety. Case 3, the red ink killer, October 2019, Manchester, UK. A 28-year-old woman decided to get her first tattoo, a red rose on her shoulder. She'd wanted it for years. The tattoo session lasted 2 hours. Normal, no problems. She went home happy. 6 hours later, she felt strange. Her throat began to tighten. Breathing became difficult. Her skin broke out in hives across her entire body. Her roommate called an ambulance. By the time paramedics arrived, she was in full anaphylactic shock. Her airway was closing, blood pressure dropping. They administered epinephrine, rushed her to the hospital, but her body wasn't responding. Multiple organ failure began. Her heart stopped. Despite 45 minutes of resuscitation attempts, doctors couldn't save her. The cause? An extreme allergic reaction to the red ink pigment. Red tattoo ink is the most dangerous color. It often contains compounds like mercury sulfide, cadmium, or iron oxide. substances that can trigger severe allergic reactions. The tragedy is that there's no way to predict who will react this way. Allergy tests for tattoo ink aren't standard practice. Most people only discover their allergy when it's too late. The woman had no history of allergies, no warning signs, just one tattoo with red ink, and it killed her in less than 12 hours. Medical examiners found her entire lymphatic system had reacted violently to the pigment, triggering a cascade of immune responses that her body couldn't handle. These deaths are rare. Millions of people get tattoos safely every year, but they're not impossible, and they're preventable. The horrific truth is that the tattoo industry remains largely unregulated in many places. Ink doesn't require safety testing. Artists don't always need medical training, and customers rarely know the risks. Here's what you need to know. Never get tattooed if you have a compromised immune system. Never swim in natural water with a healing tattoo. Wait at least 2 weeks. Research your artist, check reviews, licenses, and hygiene practices. Be wary of red ink. It has the highest rate of allergic reactions. If your tattoo shows any signs of infection, swelling, pus, red streaks, fever, seek medical help immediately. Don't wait. Tattoos are permanent, and in these rare, tragic cases, they were fatal. Your body art shouldn't cost you your life. Be informed, be careful, because these deaths prove that what goes under your skin can kill you.